Hey guys, back at you here with another little video. Today we're going to talk about smearing poop, cow poop. This is a homemade drag that I built several years ago. It attaches to the 3-point of a tractor, and it works pretty well. I think I might have had this in another video previously where I was dragging the gravel driveway to smooth it out. It works really good for that. I've got 2 short pieces of I-beam there in the front at an angle welded in the bottom, and then I've got I don't know if you can see it, got a long piece across the back. So you can adjust that back one there with your top length, however much you want that one to, that bottom beam to hit. I try to keep it about level when I'm smearing cow poop, but on the driveway you want that picked up just a little bit, and that kind of knocks all your ridges down on your gravel. But it's warmed up a little bit today. Finally quit raining, snowing, all that other mess. But I've been out here and made about 5 laps around the barn because I had cow pies. Just about every time you took a step, you were stepping on a cow pie out here. But that thing really smooths them out, smears them in, and I mean, that's just free fertilizer, is all that is. This will be green as it can be in the spring. But I mean, there were cow pies. Literally every step you took, you were stepping on one around the barn here, especially around these watering troughs. I don't know if you can really, you can't really, yeah, you can see there where I went up through there about 4 laps, I guess. You know, where they congregate. That thing does a fine job for that. I mean, it was just cow poop after cow poop up through here. Now they're just pretty much smeared in the grass, which is what you want. It works really nice. Not to mention it kind of levels your ground out too, especially when it's a little wet outside. Looks really good. I'm happy with that little build. Just made out of scrap. Just made out of scrap metal, basically. As you can tell, it's not pretty by any stretch, but it works great. It really does. I'm really happy. I think it's about, I'm gonna say about 6.5, 7 foot wide. This is a 5-foot bush hog. So you can see, it's probably 6 feet wide, 6.5. It's a 5-foot bush hog, so. But yeah, you can cover some ground with it pretty quick. Don't take long to do it. And it pulls fairly easy. You definitely couldn't pull something light heavy with a 4-wheeler. It's pretty heavy, but yeah, it works great. It works really good. Works really good. And past couple of weeks, I have been on and off working on this little project down here in the barn. I did get a couple of those big old locust posts buried. Got one there and one there, and of course we were straight across here where the hay feeder was, right there at that post. We got that moved back. Got it mounted to the barn wall there with a couple of metal brackets, and I may end up mounting it to this post, although I don't know, it's pretty heavy. It's probably not going nowhere, but I may maybe just run a big lag screw into that post or something just to be safe. And got some old 2x4s there. Those were rafters in an old building I tore down on this property that I'd saved, and worked out really good for that. I think turned out pretty decent. They're very sturdy. And then this is an old part of an old metal gate. I've got the rest of it up there in the rafters. I cut the end off of it there and closed the end in, put some mounting tabs, welded them on. So it's basically a metal frame with some old scrap. Actually, those are out of a pallet, believe it or not. These are out of a pallet that I tore apart. Just kind of screwed them on there. That turned out decent. So the next thing I want to do is get rid of this little rickety. This is an old, like a rack, side rack out of what people used to put on their pickup trucks, truck beds, like to haul livestock with. Believe it or not, that thing is old. I'm telling you, when I say it's old, it's old. There's no telling how old that thing is. There was a whole set of these, like there'd be two sides, a front, and then a back piece. And this is all I got left of it. Actually, I think this is the only piece that wasn't rotten. And it's still in good shape. It's just thin, too thin, really. But this was actually in an old house, two-story house that I tore down on this property several years ago when we first bought it. There's a whole set of these things. And I knew that's what it was because I'd seen them on my great-grandpa's truck before when I was a young kid. And so that's kind of cool. I'll probably keep that, but I don't know what I'll ever do with it. But what I'm thinking about doing is basically the same thing I did right there. And just doing the same thing. Getting rid of that little thin, flimsy thingamajig. So yeah, I went ahead and moved the salt block, and I did have it there. Went ahead and moved it over, hung it off this. I'll probably move it back over once I'm finished there. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Cows just ate a bunch of hay and they're fat, dumb, and happy. Standing there chewing their cud. You can kind of see where I've made those passes with that drag out there in the field. I'll tell you, I'm very tickled with that. Just smooths that cow pie right down and smears it right into that grass. That grass will be bright green when the weather warms up a little bit. And it's about time for a new baby calf or two. Need to start working on that. Getting a couple up there in the pen to start bottle feeding. Because I do enjoy it. Lawnmower's put to bed for the winter there. I've got the battery up in the garage. I've got it and the tractor battery. Of course, it's in the tractor now because I just got off the tractor. But yeah, I've been keeping both of them up there on those maintainers, and brought the tractor battery down here, stuck it in the tractor, and it just fired right over. And it was about 31 degrees, I think, this morning when I fired it up. Just fired right up. So those things work. They absolutely do work. I firmly am a believer in those battery maintainers. And somebody can check, but I'm pretty sure Harbor Freight has discontinued that $10 one. Last time I was in there, I was going to get another one, and it had a discontinued sticker, and they were out of them. So I don't know. I'm going to check back again next time I'm in there. So yeah, hey guys, appreciate everybody watching the little video update of everything, and we'll see you next go around. Kentucky Stad's out.